Hello, everyone. Sarah here. Let's dive into today why the journey to healing from a toxic, manipulative, unavailable, emotionally unavailable relationship can hurt so bad or feel like it hurts so bad. So I recently had this conversation with someone and was able to just just breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, because that's just what we do, right? That's just the vibe. Just it's the breakthrough vibe. It totally is, because there's an understanding of it, because I've experienced it. And in every experience there's understanding, there's lessons that we can extract, there's strength that we can carry with us into every experience that we get to have in the present moment. And that's what happens when we go through a breakup with someone who's highly toxic, has unhealthy patterns and habits. They reveal to us our own. And when we open our eyes to see our own unhealthy patterns and habits and behaviors, and we set on a path to try to have a different experience and outcome next time, we're met with a lot of opportunity to get to have different experiences. And sometimes that doesn't feel good. Sometimes it feels like it hurts. But when we get to really embody, really embrace, and really understand what gets to happen here, it gets to be beautiful. It gets to be amazing. It gets to be something that we look forward to, not something that we try to avoid going into. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people get into the place where they're like, I'm just going to avoid this pain. I'm not going to be in any other relationship ever again. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm fine on my own. I call this the superhero meme. There's one of the five archetypes that I've established and developed and seeing the patterns in all the clients that I've worked with in the past, because I had that pattern within myself as well. So with that, if you've gotten into an emotionally unavailable relationship and you've gotten out of it, and regardless of the path that you take, you're going to be met with opportunities and experiences to see how far you've come, how much you've developed, how much you've grown, what lessons you've extracted from that experience, and how strong you are. If you're praying for strength, prepare for storms. A lot of us do that. Lord, give me the strength. He's like, here's a storm. Let's strengthen you. Let's build you. Let's see how strong you are. And you don't recognize and realize that. And then you get mad that a storm came. Well, a storm is an opportunity to experience. Everything is an opportunity to experience and to deepen the relationship that you have with yourself and with the one that you created you. So it all gets to be this spiritual, energetic engagement and practice. So when you're getting out of a toxic, unavailable, manipulative relationship, and your eyes are starting to see what was really there. There was manipulation there, there was emotional unavailability there. You start to see the ways that you engage with covering up and making up for the lack of depth of the relationship, for the lack of ways of really receiving what you desire. You desire to receive this, but there's something internal and a part of you that recognizes and realizes this is not available there. So let's just cover it up, oftentimes with physical activities and engagements. So let's just go have fun and then let's have sex. Let's just go have fun and then let's have sex. And that is dating. But there's a part of you that longs for more, a part of your soul that longs for a deeper, more intimate connection. And it can't only be found in that, or not in that context, when it's a lack or a cover up of the inability to have more present. So you start to see this, and then you realize, holy crap, I've gotten into a relationship with someone who does this. This is their pattern. These are their habits. They go from this relationship to this one and they have fun, and then they have a lot of sex, and then that's it. But I wanted more out of this relationship. I thought that I really loved this person, and I could see their potential, and I know that they've been through a lot. I could see their pain, and I wanted to be the one to change, right? But then we can say, oh, I know I can't change anyone. But deep down, we wanted to experience change. You see how this is actually an embodiment of experience. We desire to experience change. And so we projected the desire to experience change onto that person and said, I desire to experience change within the context of this relationship. So let's do this together, because our hurt recognizes their hurt and honors it for what it's gone through to be present, and is like, let's do this together. Let's not give up on each other, because giving up on feels like abandonment, rejection, and leaving, and it just causes more pain. So there's something inside that says, stay, don't leave, stay, and work through this, make this better. But in a pattern like this, when the relationship ends, you go through a time of healing, a time of revealing and seeing, wow, my relationship with myself that was shown to me, reflected to me from the relationship with this person, matches and mirrors the relationship that also feels familiar. Oftentimes, it's our original love source, our parents, our caregivers. And so we can see, I manifested or I attracted this very painful relationship because I had a very painful relationship with my parents. Oh, God, I have a lot of work to do. This really hurts. How willing are we to show up for ourselves and to step into space of honoring? I choose to do the work. I choose to invest in myself and to heal and break and disconnect from and detach from these patterns, habits, beliefs, actions, and behaviors that manifested the physical presence of this toxic, unavailable relationship that matched and mirrored the toxic and unavailable relationship I have with my parents. And we can become overwhelmed, oftentimes too easily, by saying, oh my God, there's so much healing that needs to happen. I'm going to have to spend a lifetime of healing. No, 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 no. That is the most limiting paradigm and perspective that anyone can have. You don't need to spend a lifetime healing from the belief that you're not enough just to feel like you are enough in this present now, in the power of now, in this moment. But oftentimes that's what happens. And so to go deeper into understanding this, my personal experience and a lot of the clients that I work with privately and personally don't understand it energetically or on a frequency level. It's like, okay, I've broken up with this person, and yeah, I got drunk one night and I texted them after my friend sent me a screenshot of their Tinder profile that had a reference to what they're looking for in a relationship. And obviously that's what they loved in the relationship with me because that's what I brought to the relationship. And now I'm drunk and now I'm triggered. And so I'm going to text message them, and then a waking up in guilt and going, oh shit, right? And sending another text message that was like, hey, I didn't mean to send you that text message. And then guilt, not in wanting to admit, like, I only sent that to you if I was drunk. In my sober state, I would not have said that to you or sent that to you. So then reaching out and sharing with someone, and their advice is just block, delete, don't do that anymore. And you're like, okay, good advice. That's right. I need to do that. Not realizing you just opened a portal and a door to that person to say that they still have a connection to you. They still have a sense and source of power over you because you're still thinking about them, you're missing them. And then back behind the scenes, you're perceiving to move on, to grow, to work on yourself, to heal yourself. You get into another relationship, and all of this is hidden. All of this is like running in the background, right? A lot of these are because of beliefs that are running in the background of your unconscious mind. But we become unaware of that because we're not, if it were consciousness, we'd be aware of it, but it's unconsciousness. And so it's just programs running in the background asking the question, why? Why do I do this? Why does it feel this way? Why do I not understand this? I desire to, but I don't. And so I feel this constriction and I feel like I'm doing these things that I know I shouldn't be doing logically, but I find myself doing. And what does this all mean? How do I stop all this and break all this and heal from all this? Those are all the questions. So you go into setting this up, and when we look at the bigger picture, when we pan out, we can see the setup of all of this and how we've been set into all of this and how we get to experience growth through all of these moments that really allow us to experience the breakthrough that we deserve, desire, and are after. So when this person comes back into your life and they just happen to show up at an event through mutual friends and they have a new partner and you've prepared yourself for this moment, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? I think I'm over this person and I want them to know that I'm over them, right? I want them to see that I'm over them, and I want them to believe that I am because I want to believe that I am. And so months go by, you're working on yourself, or at least telling yourself that you are. And there's levels and layers to that as well. I think a lot of times it just sounds better than it feels, and so we avoid the feeling, but we just say that we are because we desire to be worked on to fix us, because there's a belief that we're broken, but you're not broken, so you don't need to be fixed. And so all of this seems like it just gets mixed up. And you get the experience again. You run into this person, they come into your space, into your world through mutual friends, they show up and they're with another partner, and you're like, punch. Oh man. And you have that awkward moment where you see them and you've prepared for this moment. You have rehearsed this moment. Isn't life a story just like we've rehearsed? I've done another video on that. Life is a story just like you've rehearsed. After the breakup, as you're going through your healing journey, you have rehearsed this moment. You have told the story of what you're going to say in this moment, what it's going to feel like, what it's going to be like, how powerful you are, and how they're going to see that they missed out on the best thing that ever happened to them. There's a part of them that may already think that, know that, or believe that. And you want to validate that for them. You lost the best thing that ever happened to you. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. I'm over you. So you get the opportunity to experience that because that person shows up with a new person. And you're like, dude, gut punch. And you didn't know they were there until you knew that they were there. And all of a sudden, this experience is there. And you go through it and you handle it in the best way that you can. And then you process it afterwards. What does that mean? Why does it feel this way? I said this, I did this, I kept my cool, I stayed calm and collected. Other people validated that that person coming into your world or back into your life at this time with that person was just a continuation of the pattern that they've always played, the role that they've always played. Why does it hurt me in this way? And so that becomes the internal question and reflection that you have with yourself. And you realize, oh man, I need more healing. Oh man. And with the story, I need more healing. It feels like you're never going to have enough healing to finally be healed, to not feel this way. And you can't quite put your words on it or your finger on it or what it is that's going on. Here's my experience with that in that moment. It feels like unconsensual penetration. It feels like RAPE because you didn't ask for it, you didn't sign up for it, and suddenly you're having an experience with it. You've done all this work on yourself. You've really committed to growth, to healing, to development, to understanding, to expanding, to moving forward, to becoming a better version of yourself, to becoming a more refined version of yourself. Because you see your part in that past experience and toxic relationship, and you don't want to continue and repeat the pattern and cycle for yourself in future relationships. And so you realize, I'm choosing to invest in myself and work on myself. I made this commitment to do this so that I don't continue to repeat these patterns of relationships. And then you're met with someone that you got to experience that relationship with. And you have this feeling of like, I don't know what this is. Like, I know I've grown. I know that I've worked on myself. I know I've moved on. I see that person is just doing the same thing that they've always done. And they did it with me. And there's a lot to untangle because there's an understanding that you are no different. You are no special or no more special than anyone else. They did to you what they do to everyone else. And this, why would I allow myself to be treated that way? Why did I stay so long? So many questions that your mind is trying to filter and sort out and have answers to to allow you to really deepen within you. And they're incredible, they're amazing, they're insightful, they're powerful, but not when they get stuck and like kinked up. It feels like, oh, I'm stuck. It feels like you didn't ask to be in that experience. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you were. And it was at a time that you didn't expect. So your expectation was, I'm just going to go hang out with my friends. And then, boom, suddenly this person is there and they've got another person. And someone else has told me, oh, I think they're sleeping together. But someone else said, no, I'm not sure. And your mind is like going crazy with stories. And you're seeing yourself that you used to be in that same position. And you used to wish and hope that it would change. You had an expectation that it could change and it would poof, genie in a bottle magically be better than it was. And the realization that it wasn't ever going to be because it takes two willing parties. And you were a willing party, but you were with someone who was an unwilling party. And what is it about me that finds myself constantly with unwilling parties? Oh, right? Something's wrong with me, right? I'm broken. There's a pattern. I need to be fixed. I need to be healed. And that's connected to an internal and unconscious belief that you're broken, but you're not. So that's actually disconnection from truth. So you feel disconnected from truth. And you're wondering, how do I feel connected with truth? How do I feel connected with the love that is inside of me, the truth that is inside of me? That's what I wanted out of that relationship. And now I'm seeing what I got. And what I've got is a lot more therapy bills in my future. That's actually not the truth. But that's where your mind goes. And from personal experiences, it feels like when something like that happens, it feels like unconsented penetration. Like I was just here doing my thing, but then all of a sudden you came into my world and my life, and boom, I feel this and I don't understand it. We desire to understand it. Our minds, the conscious and unconscious mind, they work together, they work cohesively, they work in unison. They're a meaning making machine. And the meanings are made from the beliefs that we have. The meanings are made from the internal and unconscious beliefs. So those are like trees and branches that spring forth from the roots. So when we're doing this work, we're doing it at the root core level to see what is it that's causing all this stuff to grow. And the thoughts are the growth. The thoughts are the expression of this. What does this mean? How can I better understand this? Because I don't get this. And we're in a state of desiring to get this. And when we get it, we can grow from it. They say that when you pray for strength, you better expect storms, right? And a lot of us, when we go through such a hard relationship, we want to come out of it stronger. We want more strength. We don't want to go back to that place. And that's a beautiful state to be in, is to recognize where you desire to go. And in the understanding of where you desire not to go, there's a better direction where you desire to go. So honoring that and loving that and seeing that for what it is and the power and the gift that it is and seeing this. But a lot of people go, I just don't get it. And I didn't get it either until I got it. But once you get it, you get it. And it felt like this unconsensual penetration, but it doesn't feel like at a physical level when you're engaging in that physically, it feels like at a soul level. And the frequency with it is a feeling of powerlessness, helplessness, and hopelessness. That something was done to you. Suddenly, you were engaged in this experience where you felt powerless, helpless, and hopeless. That someone was taking your power from you without your consent. Because it can feel like this experience just blindsided you, hit you with like a 2x4. Your expectation was, I'm going to go and just hang out with my friends. And then suddenly, this person and their new supply is there, and you had mentally prepared for it, you rehearsed for it, and then all of a sudden it's different. And you're thinking, why do I feel powerless? Why do I feel helpless and hopeless? But you don't know that that's what it is that you feel. And so you're wondering, why do I feel like this? I don't know what this is. And it's oftentimes linked to unconsensual penetration, like of the soul, of the emotions. Like your emotions were regulated, you were cool, calm, collected, you were fine. Your expectation was that you're going to have a good time, and then boom, and then ah, I'm a mess. I'm internally a mess. I'm chaotic. What is going on? I don't understand this. What you need to understand is everything that led up to that, the beliefs that you have that support that, that surround that, that actually manifested that created that experience. And that experience was available to you and gifted to you so that you can see how far you've come. You can see how much you've grown. You can see what beliefs are still there that are hurting you and harming you, that are trying to take away your power. And the very belief that, the very evidence that you got to experience that is evidence that you have power, because that experience came in and tried to extract that power from you and take it from you and remove it from you because it didn't believe that without it, it would have any. So seeing this, you have power within you. You have the ability within you to alter and transform and change your beliefs and understand them, that, oh my gosh, I felt powerless, helpless, hopeless. I felt like this penetration of my soul, but it was actually a gift in the experience. And without that experience, you wouldn't have had it unless you have power, unless you have what you've been praying for and asking for. So that is evidence that you already have the very thing that you've been praying for and asking for. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had that experience. That person knows it too, and they want to take it from you. That person sees it within you. That's why they stayed with you. It was you that didn't see it within yourself. And that's why you stayed, because you got to continue to experience seeing it within yourself. And now you're seeing it within yourself. So every experience gets to be a spiritual one where you see, this is how far I've come. This is how far I've grown. These are the beliefs that I still have, and I get to transform. I get to rewrite the story. I get to alter those internal unconscious beliefs and to see this. And when we see that, we're in alignment with truth, and then we feel much better. We get to see all of those experiences, all relationships, someone with their past partners, someone with their parents, as a gift of strength, a gift of power, a gift of truth. That nothing is wrong with you. You're never broken. And every experience that you get to have, regardless of how you label it, good or bad, gets to be something that is a gift to you. A gift that you get to see through the experience of, oh my gosh, understanding why it feels this way, because I desire to express and know what I have within me. So all the good things, all the bad things, they get to be spiritual things. They get to be spiritual experiences where we see, we say, and we know in our heart, body, mind, and soul, we are powerful. And we have the ability to, like, in the moment now, transform it and change it now and feel better now. Doesn't take a lifetime of going, oh my God, I have so many things to work through. We get to work through it in the immediate moment, especially when our beliefs are aligned with that and we get to see the experiences that expressed our beliefs, because that's all experiences are. They're experiences that express our beliefs. And so we can manifest them, we create them, and call them in so that we can get to know ourselves on a deeper, more intimate level and see what we already have within us and align with what we're asking for. See that we're receiving what we're asking for. So regardless of how many times you've had these experiences with toxic people, partnerships, past relationships, they're all experiences, and they're experiences that get to be present so that you can experience the power within yourself, the growth within yourself, the strength within yourself, the beliefs that you have within yourself and about yourself and about every experience that you get to have. And if it's one that you've assigned a label or attached a label to as good or bad or toxic or that person, when we turn it around, when we take ownership of it and we accept awareness of it and we say, this is the gift that I got to have, my experience with this was when that person I felt, and really call it into the power and the presence of now and our experience with it and expression of it. And we get to see that person and that experience. I felt that my power was being taken away. It felt like the soul penetration. I felt helpless. I felt hopeless. That may be linked to another time in my past where I felt these same familiar feelings and frequencies and energies of powerlessness, helplessness, and hopelessness. But that does not have anything to do with the definition and defining of who I am now. And returning home to your I am. I am powerful. I am supported. I am loved. I am trusting. I am enough. I am right where I need to be. I am not all of those things. I'm not helpless, hopeless, powerless, but I can see the story that was present in the moment where I felt like I was, but that's not the truth of who I am. So all these experiences are an opportunity to return to the truth of who you are in this present moment, in this now. So none of it is bad. It all gets to be good. It all gets to be gifts to experience everything you desire to experience. Whew. That makes sense. This has come up for me personally in my therapy sessions, in working with my unconscious thoughts and beliefs and seeing my habits, actions, patterns, and behaviors. And it comes up a lot with the clients that I work with as well, and the people that I resonate with and connect with. And they're like, I don't understand this. I'm like, how do you get it? I've been through it. I get it. And we're all so alike. We all desire to experience ourselves, our power, our truth, and have our beliefs be in alignment with that. So there really is, when you filter every experience you have through that lens, you get to see it in a way that allows you to experience that you're okay, that you're enough. You always have been and you always will be, and everything gets to be okay and gets to be enough in every moment. So if you've had toxic relationships, experiences with other people in the past, and you've wondered, I think I've done the work. I thought I've done the work. I told myself I've done the work. I moved on. I'm in a different relationship now. But when I'm really being honest with myself, this is what's present. and it feels like this, like soul penetration of pain, you can flip that and take it from disdain to personal power in the moment, and feel much better, feel much lighter, and not just feel it, because feelings are fleeting. Feelings are fleeting. We can have so many feelings throughout the day, and all of them are fleeting. None of them stay. They don't ever stay forever. If you think about that, you've had a really good feeling and you're like, oh, I want this to stay forever. No feelings ever stay forever. They come and they go, and they come and they go with the thoughts about experiences that we've had. You really desire to connect with the truth of who you are and return your power to its source, return it to within, and not believe that anyone has the ability to take it from you, and see your part in that setup, your part in that experience, and then reshift, repivot, refocus back to the truth of who you are. Worthy, deserving, lovable, good enough, and nothing has ever changed. That will always remain. That's the real soul's desire, is to not experience that, oh my gosh, I experienced unconsensual penetration. This happened to me, and it feels like, oh, why does this always happen to me? And when is it going to end? How is this going to stop? What do I need to do to make that happen? Nothing at all. You get to experience yourself in every moment, and especially with the people who see your power, want your power, because they don't believe that they have it themselves. And so you realize the projection and their engagement with their own projections, your engagement with their projections, and all of it. And it all gets to be good. It all gets to be part of the spiritual experience that your very physical human is having. Whew, does that make sense? Okay, I love you guys. And when you're ready to deepen this and to understand why is it that despite everything I've done, everything I've gone through, I still feel this way, and really connect with the desires of the beliefs that you have or want to deserve, that you believe and believe that you deserve, then I'd love to connect with you, because it's all about that. It's all about alignment to the truth of who you are, and getting to see that every experience you've ever had in the past has led you to that. Okay? Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.